Hey, Daily Dosers, thanks for joining us on this Monday. It's a Monday when none of us can really talk, right? We're just waking up. Welcome on your way to work. Hopefully you're watching this maybe on the way home or maybe for the second time because I talk so fast you didn't get it the first time. Maybe this is going to be one of those you want to send to someone because I got a friend that really needs to hear it. For me, it all started my freshman year at Azusa Pacific University. I'm not talking another Amy story. I'm talking about Dr. Bruce Boulogne. Somehow I got into a senior theology class with this guy. Maybe because I was a 23-year-old freshman after 2 years of being at Palomar University. I don't have time to explain that story. Maybe it's because I just signed up myself and no one told me what I could and couldn't take, but I'm sitting in this class and this guy is doing the life and teachings of Jesus. It's going to be a hard course. There's a lot of work. There's some big papers, but I am blown away. I am blown away by this little weak toothpick Jesus in a little mini skirt with a red sash that I had to color in my little church in East and West Texas growing up. And seeing what a strategic, powerful, brilliant son of God and leader this guy was. No one ever taught me the biblical Jesus. The questions he would get, the answers that he would receive. And one of the teachers of the law had noticed him. Not what I was taught in Sunday school growing up, but noticed the real Jesus and realized the most important question I have about life, this guy can answer. And he comes to Jesus in Mark chapter 12, 28. And one of the teachers of the law came. He heard all the debating going on. He noticed that Jesus had given everyone a good answer. He's just amazed by the wisdom, the tenacity, the strategery of this Jesus. And he asked, so of all the commandments, what's the most important one? Oh, brilliant. Look at the size of this book. It's in 4 columns. It's in small little print. I don't have pictures anymore. Of everything written in here, can you boil it all down? And Jesus goes, oh, yeah, I can. The most important one is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And then the second is this. Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandments greater than these. So a popular verse, if you've grown up in Christian circles or you're not new to the faith but have been around for a while, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. But this week we turn the page on loving God and loving others to loving self because there's a line in there that stumped me. And before you go, it's not just about loving God. It's about loving others as you love yourself. And he links the two. It's the entire book of 1 John. If you're struggling with loving people, you just start reading the book of 1 John. Small little chapters, small book. It will rock you. There's no way you're loving God if you're not loving the people he made in his image. No way. And here's how you love them. You love them as you love yourself. Well, there was my problem. As a 23-year-old, sitting at Azusa Pacific University in a senior class, but as a freshman, I didn't love myself. You guys have heard me say it so often. It's that time period in life where I didn't like being alone because when I was alone, I didn't like who I was with. Let me tell you, North Coast. Let me tell you, Daily Dosers. Please don't take this wrong. I'm saying this generally to all of you, so not a single one of you has to be hurt. I do not want you to love me the way you love yourself. No thanks. I know how you think about yourself. And if that's how you're going to love me, I'd rather pass. And that's where I was. Now, these passages can be used incredibly narcissistic. These passages can be used for the self-lovingness. Now, what it's saying is, you fall in love with God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And let me tell you, if you're in a genuine relationship with this God, you're going to start to learn how he sees you. You're going to see grace and mercy, and then you're going to feel grace and mercy. And when you're a person that starts to feel grace and mercy and be full of grace and mercy, you're going to want to give grace and mercy because of how it's been given to you. And this is what started to transform over the next 2 years in my life. I knew who I was and what I had done and what I deserved. And because those were truth, not facts, I couldn't escape them. What I started to dive into is who this God is and how he sees me and what he made me and how he feels about me. And it was a higher truth than the ones I know about who I am and what I've done and what I've deserved. There's a greater truth in what God thinks about me and how he sees me and what he wants from me. And the more I started walking with the God that says, Chris, you're an idiot. You're a screw up. You deserve hell. You don't deserve to live right now. I should strike you dead. And I'm like, oh, you know that? And he's like, yeah, I know that. I've seen everything you've done. All your motives, all your actions, all your desires. And instead of that, here's what I want you to do. I got to be a slave for you and I got to do penance the entire life. He goes, no. I'm going to call you son. I'm going to adopt you. I'm going to make you my own. I'm going to make you untouchable. And if anything happens to you, they have to deal with me. I'm never going to leave you alone. I'll never take my eyes off of you, knowing who you are and what you've done and what you deserve. I'm doing this because of who I am, not because of who you are. I'm adopting you because you're hopeless and helpless. And it's going to take you a while to get used to understanding there's a dad like that. But the more you walk with a loving dad like that, the more it's going to transform who you are. And then guess what? You're going to have something to love people with, because the source of love is not in you or about you. It's my love. So when I tell you, love me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, you're going to learn to love you the way I love you. And you're going to give the love I have for you to others. And then you can love others as yourself. It's a 2-step process. Don't call yourself a Christian because you love God if you can't do the second. We're kicking off a week on understanding how God sees us. So maybe some of us can start to forgive ourselves as God has forgiven us, and start to understand there's 2 truths about your life. There is a truth about who you are and what you've done and what you deserve. That's true. And there's a higher truth about what God sees you, what he calls you, and what he has for you. Congratulations, Daily Dose. You get to live and accept one of those truths. The higher one and the cross covers the lower thirds. Oh, that's good. We'll see you tomorrow.